non-stop barrage of gunfire has turned this Los Angeles neighborhood into a war zone. Cameras on television news helicopters broadcast the unbelievable scene. The quiet community of North Hollywood is bombarded by the deafening sound of automatic weapons being fired indiscriminately at police officers and civilians. This day began as a special morning for Tracy Fisher and her dog, Diochi.
It was my boyfriend's birthday, and I had to stop to get cash to take the dog to the vet and to buy birthday presents and a cake and balloons.
When Tracy parks in front of the North Hollywood Bank, she hears gunshots coming from inside the building. She speeds around the corner, calling 911 on her cell phone. But police are already on scene. They know a bank robbery is in progress and are waiting to apprehend the suspects when they come out of the bank. The 911 operator instructs Tracy to find an officer and tell him what she saw at the bank. But as she is talking to the police,
we all saw the gunmen come out of the bank and literally point their guns at us and open fire.
Tracy, the officer, and two other civilians dive for cover behind a police car as bullets fly over their heads. The police are caught off guard by the aggressive military-style assault. Wearing black flak jackets customized to protect their upper body, arms, and legs from bullets, the two gunmen brazenly attack with AK-47 automatic weapons.
The sound was so loud that it sounded like death. And I could literally hear the bullets ripping through the police car. There was glass shattering around us. And I thought, this is it. I am gonna be shot to death.
The robbers' constant automatic gunfire only allows the police to get an occasional shot off. There is nothing they can do to rescue Tracy and the others from behind the car.
You were literally pinned wherever it was you were. I mean, you couldn't move in this type of gunfire. There were police behind trees, behind houses. I could see them 25 feet away. I could see them 500 feet away. They were screaming to us, "Don't move, we'll get you out of there," and then they would duck. I was panicking so much and I was so scared, I couldn't breathe.
Officers begin to shoot at the robbers in an effort to draw their fire away from Tracy. When the gunmen redirect their fire at the police, Tracy and the others make a run for safety. But one of the gunmen sees them and turns his fire back toward the fleeing group. The police officer escapes safely, but Tracy and one of the men are shot.
It knocked me off my feet. So I thought, if this bullet hurt so bad, what about the one that's gonna kill me?
Now, the three civilians are trapped and two of them are wounded. They crawl back to hide behind the police car. The gunmen continue to shoot everything that moves. Police are held at bay behind any makeshift barricade they can find. There seems to be no end in sight to the gun battle. It has been 30 minutes since a fierce gun battle between bank robbers and police have turned the streets of North Hollywood, California into a terrifying battlefield. Jorge Vieira, a reporter for Telemundo Television, hears the robbery in progress call on his car's police scanner. He and his cameraman rush to the scene. Jorge sees the gunman shooting at police. He takes cover behind the truck and begins broadcasting. Then, suddenly, the gunman opens fire on the journalist. Bullets hit a pole just inches above his head. Jorge and the cameraman find themselves in a life-or-death situation.
I'm talking and I'm saying, well, there's a suspect right behind me. The adrenaline is so high in that moment. I thought to myself, you know what? We're gonna get killed here. There was bullets everywhere.
Mike Meadows, a freelance news photographer, is also on the scene.
This was not a real good spot to be in, because when you can see police officers that are cowering, behind anything they can get behind, you're in a real bad situation. It was a spot I should have never been in. But I've been a newsman for so long that it's in your blood and you go.
The police continue to shoot at the gunman, but their bullets bounce off the robber's body armor. The rounds do not even knock them off balance. The gunman boldly advanced toward the firing officers, as if completing a military maneuver. The police scramble and retreat. One gunman drives a getaway vehicle out of the bank parking lot, while the other walks alongside. He confidently shoots non-stop at the outgunned police. Watches the gunman walk away, shooting at everything in his path.
I could see the glass was being shot out of my car, and I kept thinking, my dog's in that car. And there was nothing I could do.
Then, one gunman brazenly strolls down the street in clear view, shooting at police. With nothing for the robber to hide behind except a bush, the officers finally get a clear shot. They take the gunman down with a shot to the head. The other gunman has commandeered a pickup truck in an attempt to escape, but the SWAT team rushes the car, forcing him to take cover behind the getaway car. A close-range gun battle erupts. Despite the robber's automatic weapon, he is finally outnumbered and shot by the SWAT team. They storm the injured shooter, screaming at him to roll over and give up his weapon. The gunman dies a short time later. As police regain control of the streets of North Hollywood, reporter Jorge Vieira wraps up the biggest story of his career.
As a reporter, you're supposed to be prepared for everything. But in situations like this, you're not prepared. When everything was over, I thought, it's very good to be alive.
Photographer Mike Meadows, finally able to move around freely, captures the aftermath on film.
If you're a newsman, you love covering news incidents. But to be so vulnerable, to be so exposed to two guys who are bent on just killing everything that moves, it really makes you think, what's going to happen next?
According to Professor Bruce Berg, Associate Professor of Criminal Justice at Cal State Long Beach, the accessibility of automatic weapons is a great threat for police officers everywhere.
The AK-47 fires a round that will penetrate a good deal of material that people were standing behind. It'll go through a door. It'll certainly go through the glass windows. It'll go through, in fact, certain kinds of building materials. It's a powerful round. So it's something which law enforcement is very concerned about.
Since the robbery, the Los Angeles Police Department has taken steps so its officers will never be outgunned like this again. Police patrol units now carry semi-automatic weapons, but they can only be used with permission of a supervisor. After the shootings, police found Tracy's dog, Diogi, still in her vehicle near the bank. Though he was grazed by a bullet, both Diogi and Tracy have made a full recovery.
The most important thing I've gotten out of what I've gone through was to slow down, to not be in such a hurry with my life, because at any time it can be taken away from you.
Tracy's still fearful of going to a bank, but having Diogi at her side has helped her to overcome the traumatic incident.